Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video, and today I have a little bit of a science video. I ran 100 cemetery maps fully juiced with all the Kirac nodes available. These are the results. And yeah, I know it's probably very bad. However, I am on solo self-found, I'm full build. It's completely fine, I don't really need to make any currency. So I thought, let's just test out a few Atlas nodes. So why make this video, right? Well, I can provide some data on scouting report farming, which may end up decent in the future. You never know. It may end up decent right now. I will be running these maps later, but who knows? Who knows? It could be good. And other content creators can use this in their videos or in their data. Looking at you, Grim, he's right here in the bottom right. I love this dude, I think his videos are amazing and he can always use a bit of extra data, right? I'm actually intending to follow up with another video and I will be running all the Kirac missions and using all the reports that I found in this video. Alright, let's start with a short introduction. Why did I do this? I'll give you an overview of the scouting reports and the advantages, the pros and cons, the Atlas Passive Points setup that I used. Then we go into the data and finally a conclusion. The first question that might be on your mind: why did I start farming Kirac nodes? As there is so many different other things on the passive tree that are good. And yeah, I know that it's probably really bad. However, I am on solo self-found. I'm farming my way to level 100 anyway. I might as well take some nodes that are very unpopular, probably for good reason, and give you some data on these things. You might be surprised. I think these nodes and reports could be potentially fun. This is definitely in the for science category, and it will be serving as preparation for the next video, in which I'm going to run all of these reports and all of the Kirac missions and see what you could typically get from them. Let's talk about these Kirac missions and the scouting reports. There are a few issues with the Kirac missions. One of them is that the Atlas passives do not apply to whatever map you're running over here. Also, the map device bonuses do not apply because it is its separate category. You can't really influence these maps, which means that you will not have many juicing options when it comes to Kirac missions. And something that I will figure out next video is that there will most likely be a lot of RNG when running these missions. You might get some really good stuff and you might get some really bad stuff as well. And finally, I want to highlight there is a difference between the scouting reports. There is a special one and there are regular ones. The regular ones are mainly used for Atlas progression, and you will find these even if you don't have any specialization nodes enabled on the passive tree. There are 3 of these. You have the Explorers scouting missions. They can roll maps that you have not yet completed. You can find Val scouting reports. They will give you corrupted maps, and singular ones which will give you at least one unique map on your map device. Then there are 5 special ones which you can only unlock if you actually spec into the Atlas tree, or they are extremely rare, but I think they can only unlock when you do the passive tree, and we'll get into that into the next slide. Here is the passive tree that I used. Hopefully by now you are a little bit familiar with what these things are, but I'll quickly go over some of the main features. The Kirac nodes are the ones with this icon over here, which is like a little bit of a shield or something. So I took all of the Kirac nodes over here, the Kirac nodes over here, and the Kirac nodes over here. Furthermore, I got Harbinger, that's over here. There's some Harbinger there and Harbinger here. I took the essences, because I'm still trying to craft myself a good claw, for example. So I got the essences, and essences. And the lockboxes, that's not in the slide, but you can definitely see the lockboxes, right? I like these lockboxes, they're over here, they're over here. And then a few random stuff, because I got some points left. Pack size over here, pack size over here, and 50% additional altars over here. This is how I have been running 100 cemetery maps. Looking a little bit more into the Kirac nodes in detail, what you will get if you take all the passives and all the major nodes into account is that you will get 14% additional chance to gain an additional Kirac mission. and you gain 1 free mission per day because of this small node over here. You get 15% pack size. I think those are these 3 nodes over here. The small minor nodes, they give you 5% pack size in a mission, which is not too bad. You get 100% increased Atlas scouting reports found. So you got 20 over here, 20 over here from the big node, and this one is 60%. And you get a chance to find these special scouting reports. 20% of them are comprehensive, which give you additional mission outcomes. 10% are operative, which have rewarding implicits. 5% are blighted scouting reports with anointed blighted maps as an option. 5% are delirious with layers of delirium, and 5% are otherworldly, which are breach stones. So let me take you through the data and the maps that I actually ran, so you know what type of map I have been running. It's specifically something like this. They are 100 juiced cemetery maps. I am adding 4 scarabs with mostly extra juice like breach, abyss, legion, boxes, harbinger, that sort of thing. I alt-chamvaled most of these maps unless they have beyond on them, meaning that most of the maps will have between 70 and 130% item quantity, which you can see over here. This is 121. I chiseled most of the maps as well. At some point I did run out of chisels, but you know, most of them are chiseled. I'm using 4 sextants with awakened sextants, and I am always running Fortune Favors the Brave because I have that pack size node on the Atlas as well. And then here are the actual results after 100 maps. So here, once again, you see the expected values, and here the actual gains. What did I actually get after 100 missions or 100 maps? I got 19 Kirac missions, and I think that boils down to the 14% additional chance, plus you get a free daily mission every time that you play, and it definitely took me a few days to run 100 maps. Then we go into the regular scouting reports. There are 3 of these. The explorers, I found 25. I found 16 Val and 13 Singular. I think this is very close to the actual drop rates. I think the explorers are indeed 25% of the drop rate. Val and Singular are probably 15%, which will you have ending up at 55%. If you then add up the percentages over here, which is in total 45%, you are back to 100%, which makes a lot of sense. Then we go to the special maps. The comprehensive ones, which are supposed to drop 20%, I only found 9. So for me, this was much closer to a 10% drop rate, whereas the operative, which is only supposed to be 10%, is actually 14. The other Blighted, Delirious and Otherworldly do stick to their percentages quite well. Blighted is right on the spot, Delirious is 1% lower, and Otherworldly is 7%. The total number of scouting reports is 93, which means that these aren't exact percentages, they're a little higher. And to illustrate that, I made a pie chart. I think this shows clearly how everything is distributed. These are the 5%ers, which they definitely stick to. The operative and comprehensive are relatively common. And then the old sort of regular scouting reports you find really all the time. So to conclude, we found roughly around 1 scouting report per juiced map. Which means that if you don't take the nodes, if you don't take the 100% increased chance to find scouting reports because of the Atlas passive trees, you will probably find 1 scouting report per juiced 2 maps. I found 1 Kirac mission per 5 or maybe even 6 juiced maps, which means that you either have 5 attempts per Kirac mission because you can roll 5 different scouting reports on this thing, or you're going to be severely short on Kirac missions, because you're gonna find way more scouting reports than actual missions. The idea is probably that you use multiple reports on a mission so that you roll the outcome that you want, but this is good to realize. Something else I noticed is that the Kirac missions are gained separately from other masters like Nico. So this means you can get both a Nico mission and a Kirac mission when you complete a map. And then a bit of final and anecdotal evidence. The map rarity, which you can influence from altars, right? The Eater of World altars, they can make you drop way more special scouting reports. At least that is what I found. Sometimes I clicked the rarity, map rarity and increased quantity and increased rarity option a few times within a map because the maps are so juiced that I was up to 60% rarity, and I think that translated quite well into finding more special scouting reports. And that's really it. That is really what I wanted to tell with this video. In one of the future videos I will be running all of these reports and make a special tab, probably with some notable loot, so you can see what you can expect if you run around. I think I have 95 Kirac missions currently. So I'm gonna use all of these reports on those missions and just see what happens. So thanks for now for watching. I hope you found it enjoyable or useful. Remember to like and subscribe if you did, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Love you all. Bye bye.